What's going on, guys? So today what we're going to do is we're going to seafoam my Mazdaspeed3, which means one thing: it's time for an oil change as well. Now it's good to do this before every oil change, because that way if there is any possible way that this could seep through and get into your oil, you get it out as soon as possible instead of running with it for a while. Now what this does is it eliminates not all of the carbon, but some of the carbon that builds up in your motor. And so this is something that I do. Now this is kind of something that people don't really, some people recommend, some people don't. The reason being, some people have used this and immediately after have said that they've blown their turbo, or on a rotary they've lost their apex seal or something like that. Now I've always had a belief that when you use this, and if that does happen, those are parts that are going to fail really soon anyway. But I've been using this stuff for a long time and I've never had any problem like that. So guess what? I'm gonna use it again. Alright, so what you need to actually do this is fairly simple. What you're gonna need is just a smaller flathead screwdriver, some kind of vacuum line, you know, preferably about 2 feet long, a clear cup of some sort, and of course the seafoam. Now the first thing you're going to want to do is take your flathead screwdriver and pry this vacuum line off by first removing this little blue tab right here, as such, just like that. And once it pops out of place, go ahead and just pull up the line. Next, take your vacuum line that you have and go ahead and slip it right over that where you just unplugged, and we're good to go. Alright, now the next step is we're going to want to take the seafoam and we're going to pour it into this cup. The reason being we're doing that is so we can see how much seafoam left has to go into the motor and when to choke it out. Now while doing this, what you guys definitely want to make sure you're doing is really monitoring how much seafoam is going into the motor at once. You don't want it to die, but you don't, want it to not suck up either. So you're going to want to watch it really closely, see how much is going in, and then at the very end, as soon as you're about ready to hit the bottom, you drop the other end of that vacuum line into it, because you want to choke out the motor at that point. And then we're going to let it set for 10 minutes. So let's go ahead and do that right now. Now because of that vacuum line that we just unhooked, the idle is going to be really weird, so expect it, and it's going to want to choke in and out as you feed the seafoam slowly into the motor. So here we go, let's start it and you'll hear what it sounds like. Alright, so it's definitely sputtering in and out, but that's fine. So what we want to do now is add in the seafoam. Alright, now that the seafoam's in the motor, we're going to wait about 10 minutes, then we'll fire back up. Alright, so when you start it back up, you definitely want to let it idle here. It's going to be smoking like mad out the exhaust for a little bit. So we're just going to let it set it here, try to get all of that out. And then once it stops smoking, we'll take it for a drive and drive a little bit spiritedly, definitely trying to get the rest of that out there. So that's the plan. So the 10 minutes are up. I'm going to set up the camera behind the car, and then let's see how much smoke comes out. Let's see if we look like a blue angel. Still just smoking away. Do you guys vape? My car vapes. Alright, and we're done. I stopped smoking after a little drive, and everything checks out. We're good for an oil change. Thanks guys for watching, and don't forget, together to the top.